Now, idea number one is to butcher up your turkey and don't cook it all at once, because the big mistake that a lot of people do is they get a turkey at Christmas and then they'll cook the whole thing at once, have a really good feed on Christmas Day, they'll have some cold meat on Boxing Day, the day afterwards they think, oh, begin to run out of ideas for this. And what very often happens is about 4 or 5 days later people throw away a huge amount of meat, which is criminal really. But anyway, I'll show you what I do. Here, sharp knife, this isn't the only knife to do it with, this is a good one. Right, there's the breast meat, there's the leg, okay, in here. Right, now if you just take a look, you'll see that it's finding a natural plane of cleavage, okay. You can see the knife is finding its way through. By the way, we'll just remove the giblets inside, put those to one side. Just take care of that. Same job again. Just using it, just pulling a little bit of pressure back there, so that this comes away quite neatly. You see you're getting along quite well there. It's not too difficult. We're nearly there actually. Okay, look down here. Right, now, useful bit of kit, this cleaver. So what I'm doing, just going through those, you come over my other side here, Julian, so. Handy piece of kit, this cleaver. Alright, well we've got that, this section I'm just putting to one side, and I'll make this section, I'll do that in another video I'll look at that perhaps, try and keep this short. And what I've now got to do is just finish this, which is the best knife. There's several ways of doing this. Cleaver's quite handy. It's a useful knife for a lot of different purposes. Now this sort of thing, you know, I'm going to probably later on I'll probably just shave the finest bits of meat off of here, put them to one side for a casserole or something, and yeah, and then use the stock for a bit of bone. By the way, there's a bit of gut, more gallbladder or whatever that's been spilled out. Okay, I'll carefully cut that out. And there we are, back down this way. This isn't particularly difficult. The main thing really is sort of thinking about doing it really. Probably someone who's more expert than me could have worked out a better way of doing this. Just removing that wing. Okay, now what we have got there, we'll just clean this slightly gungy bit out. Actually, yeah, that'll be chucked away. Okay then, so we have now got our crown roast. Alright, a little bit of untidiness down there, but not a big deal. Okay, you see what I'm talking about now. Now that's your crown roast, and you can, if you wish, take a knife and sort of slide it under here and put some bacon underneath the skin, or you can just lay some bacon over the top. There's a number of different ways you can cook this, but if you cook this is a crown roast, there's enough here. You can roast this on Christmas Day, or on some other day if you prefer, and there's enough here for a load of really good meat. And I'll just put this to one side, put this over here for now. I'll just show you the rest of what I've got here. You see, the point is that if you cook the whole lot, if you put the entire turkey into the oven, A, it's going to be much more difficult to cook it all and to get it all thoroughly cooked, and B, you're going to have an awful lot of cooked meat. Whereas now what we're going to have is several joints. I'm just going to snap that out. You see what I've done there? Just snapped that out, a little bit of pressure to see good quality meat. It definitely is worth paying more for something a bit better, particularly at Christmas time.
Very red, isn't it?
Yeah. You see what I got there. Now what I can do with this, a lot of different things I can do with this. I'm going to put that to one side over there with that. Just do the same with the other one. Just get a feeling of what you're doing. Just taking the knife down there a little bit between the bones, and just a little bit of pressure. You see, I've just dislocated that. It's going through here, and handy knife. That is slightly specialist knives. These, you know, the long, thin fish filleting knife here. Quite a specialist sort of knife, and again the the cleaver is a little bit specialist, but there are things that these are really good for that you can press another knife into service, that those will actually do it a lot better. Okay, so here we've got another nice one, and what we could do with these we could maybe just put those both in a saucepan and cook them slowly with a bit of white wine and spice, or at least you go in the freezer. Okay, so we've got a load of choice what we can do with that. And here we've got the sort of carcass leftover bit, and what I'm going to do, and I'll probably use a sort of paring knife for this. When I say a paring knife, I think it is worth investing, because you get decent knives. Unless you actually throw them away, they will last a lifetime. This particular knife is one of a set we've had for about 25 years. It's showing no sign of wearing out. So you get a right knife for the job, and then use them. And what I'm going to do probably with this is just pare off this sort of bit. You can see why you want a short bladed, knife with a short and thin blade for doing this sort of kind of work. So I'm going to work over this. It's a fiddly job. I'll work my way through this, and I'll fiddle loads of little nice bits of meat out like that. And you can do a lot with those. You could stir fry that, you could put spice on it and put it in batter and deep fry it as turkey nuggets, or you put it in a casserole, do what you like with it. And then when I've worked over this piece and removed all of these nice little nuggets of meat, what I'll do then, big lumps of fat, I'll cut these off and I'll put them in our wood burning fire. They may as well warm our home. If you're starving, of course you can eat them. And the rest of this, I'll whack this up with the cleaver. I just whack this up with the cleaver and simmer it very slowly with some onions and cider, and make a nice stock. You can use turkey soup, or you can freeze that for stock. Okay, so that's basically what I would do with a turkey. Of course, if you've got 15 people eating with you and you've got a big oven, then that's absolutely fine. But that's what I do. I would have a decent sized turkey like that. You've got one big crown roast joint, you've got two good leg joints, you've got loads of little bits of high quality meat like that you can make curry or pies or casserole or deep fried nuggets or whatever, and you've got a really nice bit of stock left over as well. And that's much better than cooking the whole thing one day, and you eat some nice and some not so nice, and then you end up throwing a lot away. Okay, so that's what I do with the turkey.